So after what feels like a string of bad news, we finally have some good news, and that comes in the form of Randall Woodfin, who on Tuesday unseated William Bell, the mayor of Birmingham, Alabama, in a nonpartisan runoff election. So Woodfin was a real progressive who was backed by the Working Families Party, backed by Nina Turner's Our Revolution, and backed by Bernie Sanders. So in this video, I'm going to get into exactly what policies Woodfin represented and the strategy that he used to win that the Democratic Party nationally could learn from. But first, some reaction. So after the big win, Our Revolution President Nina Turner tweeted out, "Not only for the win, for the people. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor-elect. We are so proud of you." And Bernie Sanders tweeted, "Congratulations to Mayor-elect Randall Woodfin for running a great grassroots and winning campaign. I look forward to working with him." And for some media reaction, we go to HuffPost.com. Woodfin's ambitious platform and dogged ground game ultimately bested Bell, 68, a two-term Democratic incumbent who had been in city politics since before Woodfin was born. But not even Woodfin's most optimistic boosters anticipated the resounding margin of his victory. With all but one polling place reporting, Woodfin defeated Bell 58 to 41%. And from AL.com, at 36, Woodfin will be the youngest Birmingham mayor since David Fox took office in 1893. He's expected to take office on November 28th. So before I get into the actual policies and the strategy that led him to a win, it's important to mention that he was, in fact, a Hillary supporter. Woodfin backed Democrat Hillary Clinton in the 2016 primary, making the Our Revolution backing something of a wound-healing exercise. And in fact, Woodfin wasn't just a Hillary supporter. He also ran her campaign in Alabama. Now, I mention this up front because it's really important to point out what matters in terms of a political candidate. So I don't think that his connection to Hillary Clinton is an issue, because what we should actually focus on are the policies. What policies does Randall Woodfin put forward? And what strategy is he using to actually win over voters? And what groups is he connected to? So when you look at those things, it shows that Woodfin is a progressive through and through. So that's what actually matters when it comes to a politician. We shouldn't just taint everybody that once had a meeting or some sort of connection with an establishment or a corporate Democrat, because then a lot of people are tainted. So what you actually need to focus on is what groups they're connected to and what policies they put forward. And here are some of the policies that Woodfin put forward in his campaign. Debt-free community college for Birmingham City School high school graduates. So while being mayor does sort of limit your options in terms of what you can offer people, he is offering free tuition for high school students who want to attend Jefferson County Community College. Lead the fight against charter schools, ensuring that resources are not taken away from the public school system, which is an issue that right now divides a lot of corporate Democrats from progressives within the Democratic Party. At least $5 million annually for repaving our streets, fixing potholes, and repairing sidewalks. So one of the big themes of his platform is investing back into the people, which of course includes infrastructure spending. And part of that spending also includes adopting a citywide bicycle plan, so people that don't have cars are able to get around the city on their bike. Increase starting salaries for all new Birmingham police officers, which is a good way to attract the best talent to your police force, and doubles as a way to cut down on a lot of the issues associated with low-paying, less educated police departments. Establish a civilian oversight board for the police department, which will aim to help optimize the performance of their police department and promote open communication and good relations between the police and the citizens they serve. Effective community policing, and part of the way they suggest doing that is by conducting an annual survey of residents, businesses, and others on their experience with the police. And this one also stood out to me. Adopt a tax credit for local businesses that hire ex-offenders. And really what that means is that having a criminal record doesn't mean the end of your life. So oftentimes people get caught up in this issue where they get charged with a non-violent drug offense, and then they have an issue getting a job. But now, if there's a tax credit associated with hiring that person who is an ex-offender, then there's a better chance that those ex-offenders will be able to be hired and then be able to start a new life after they've served their time. Now, while I love all these policies, there's also another one that I have to mention, which is the minimum wage. So Birmingham, Alabama actually had already voted to raise the minimum wage from $7.25 an hour to $10.10 an hour. But then they were blocked by the state, saying that no cities can raise their wages above what we tell them. So the state is continuing to impose a $7.25 an hour wage, and Woodfin is against that. As reported by HuffPost, although the state legislature thwarted the city's attempt to raise its minimum wage to $10.10 an hour in 2016, Woodfin has said that he would aggressively lobby the state to overturn that policy. He supports raising the city's minimum wage to $15 an hour and plans to make that the minimum for city employees. So on policy, how do you not love this guy? He's adopted a clear progressive policy that is for the people. Now, when it comes to strategy, here are the types of strategies that he used to actually reach out to voters and get them out to vote. So Randall Woodfin himself said, "We made this campaign 100% about the people of Birmingham, focusing on their issues, their struggles, their desires for the direction of the city." From The Intercept, in advance of the runoff, they made over 1,000 calls and sent 11,000 text messages to voters. 125 Working Family Party volunteers contacted 22,000 voters by text and phone, helping push Woodfin over the top. Randall Woodfin ran on the idea that the people of Birmingham have a right to demand a government that truly works for all its people, and that a city can provide opportunity and lift up those who've been left behind. Joe Dinkin, national spokesperson for the Working Family Party, said in a statement, "Woodfin is part of a wave of local candidates around the nation who are running on bold, transformative, progressive visions and winning." So it seems obvious, right? You focus on the people, and by focusing on the people, you realize what policies that the people want. And those policies end up being progressive policies. And now the only issue you have to deal with is getting that message out there. And apart from the Working Family Party and Our Revolution, Bernie Sanders also played a role in this. Sanders recorded a robocall that went out Monday night, telling voters identified as loyal progressives that Woodfin would fight for Medicare for all and racial justice. And Bernie is also lending his support to other small elections around the country. Two other Sanders-backed candidates in other states fared well Tuesday night. State Auditor Tim Keller won 39% of the vote in the first round of the Albuquerque's mayoral race, 16 points ahead of his nearest Republican challenger. And in Los Angeles, Sanders campaign veteran Wendy Carrillo led in the first round of a race for an open seat in the state assembly, with 21% of the vote. So I think it's important to mention that while Bernie is helping out in these races are not won because of Bernie Sanders. These races are won on the ground, by the people in the campaigns, by those knocking on doors, by those calling, by those texting. So people can get sort of caught up in, oh, you're just happy this guy won because Bernie won. No. Bernie is just an added benefit in this case. These wins are important because they're actually pushing a progressive platform forward. We care about the policies. I care about the policies. Bernie or not, the policies are what matter. As someone that has fought for these policies his entire career, Bernie Sanders is simply a symbol of the progressive movement. But these campaigns are won by the people on the ground and the policies in the platform. Now, the Democratic Party nationally could learn from this. But as long as they're stuck on corporate money, it's going to be hard for them to actually evolve.